3 years ago, a game was created on Reddit. More specifically, a subreddit about pro wrestling, of all things. This would lead to a few hundred people meeting, some becoming friends and keeping in touch every day, and some disappeared in a split second. This is a history of a place called Loser Leaves Reddit, a prediction game about pro wrestling. Now, before I continue any further, I want you to know that this history podcast record keeping I'm doing has been called very niche, mostly likely not matter to 99.999 of the world's population. Most likely, if you're listening to this, you're part of this game already, and not much other people are going to hear it. So right now, most likely, you're sitting down between talking on our Discord and listening to this. I want to take the time to say thank you for being a part of this weird journey. And if you're brand new and listening to this, to understand what Loser Leaves Reddit is all about, get really ready to deal with some sensitive topics, a lot of things that don't make sense, and a lot of random information that'll get you absolutely nowhere in life. I've been trying to decide whether or not to do this for a while, and I know I need to talk about some sensitive subjects that are uncomfortable that have happened throughout the years. And against the wishes of some, I feel like it's unfair to not discuss them. I know this might not be the best or most popular opinion, but this is my account of LLR's history, not the general consensus. Before I go, I want to say that I appreciate everyone here listening to this. This is basically just me recording, no proper equipment. I'm going to stumble over words. I'm not a podcast host or anything as such. If I speak too fast, I'm sorry. I don't really even use my voice a lot of times in LLR. I don't do the voice chat as much, so if you're listening to this, know that I'm overcoming all those things that make me uncomfortable to do this for the community. Whew, okay, so let's start this off. 3 years ago, a Redditor called Your Buddy Church created this game back in 2016. I think it was near the end of the summer. I think Backlash 2016 was the first wrestling pay-per-view we did. The concept was really simple back then. It was you make your predictions and the winner of that match on the winners of the matches, and then if you guessed right, you won the pay-per-view. That was it. No title shot or all the things that would come afterwards. It was just a prediction. Then creative people started saying that there should be a championship like in pro wrestling. The first winners were random players that came and went without caring. But then a predictor named Falcon Arrow, or the Falcon Arrow, won the championship and didn't lose for a long time. This name you're sadly going to hear a lot, and not for the best reasons always. And actually it's probably the worst reason later on. But we're going to talk about more of that near the end. I joined a couple of months later in LLR. I became the first United States champion, just saying. Humble brag, felt it's right to share because I was one of the first to cut a promo, and I challenged Church for career versus title, blah blah blah. And if I lost that match, I wouldn't be here 3 years later. It's weird to think where everything would happen, how everything would play out. But I don't want to talk much about the championships and the winners and such like that. I feel like that's just a brief overview. You could check on the Wikipedia or whatever. I want to talk about more than that. But right now, right after the championship, more championships came and went. The people came and cut promos on each other, but they would usually do it in the comments section of the Reddit posts. But eventually, we got enough people to do our own subreddit. I think there was only like 50 or 60 people in the first week or so. People have been loyally playing for the first year. A username, I'm gonna throw this. My boy Throw This. Put some money into actually getting banners and coding done by people to make a very well and put together subreddit for the people devoted to the game. And our Loser League Reddit was born. From there, most people cut promos after they joined. Sometimes very generic on who they were. Sometimes they went off the rail, off the fucking wall. But we had a home for the first time. It wasn't just a comment section anymore. It was a place where we could post fun things, and it was solely devoted to that, and we could check up on each other. But throughout that time so far, there's been a lot of real friendships forming. You know, people who like the same things usually get involved with each other and get friendships. Usually it was through Skype chat groups, but some Reddit messages and other platforms were popular too, but nothing really brought the community together. I think everyone who was participating was making some acquaintances at least. Then a smart idea came. I don't know who created it. Please let me know at the end. But what if we had a Discord where everyone could be involved? This is when Discord was finally getting popular in the world, and it worked so well. It changed everything about the way the game was played. Instead of cutting promos on the subreddit in the comments, it was more on the channels of kayfabe and general chat. No, the promos were cut in kayfabe pretty much, but general chat was there, and everything else involving wrestling we had a channel for, and we'd all talk. To this day, if you're new, jump on right now and you'll see people talking about fucking whatever. I mean, it could be any time of the day. We have people live all over the world. It's a really cool atmosphere to be a part of. So that's a brief history of what this place actually is, like the generalization. If you've stayed so far with me, I want to dive into the heavy stuff now, the place that makes LLR, LLR. I asked a lot of people. I think I asked everyone in the subreddit, in the Discord, and then I posted something on the subreddit. Reached out to others who used to be here of like, what is this place to you? Because I was fascinated on because everyone gets to say it's a subreddit for wrestling, but like, what makes you come back to this place after 3 years? I mean, it takes a lot for you to come back, even if you just joined a month ago. Or something you check every day, that becomes a routine in 30 days, I think, according to some psychologist out there. But I wanted to know, why do people keep coming back? A lot of people said it was a creative outlet, a place where they can talk about wrestling to each other. But a few responses caught me off guard in a way I didn't think of it before. One competitor or person, let me quote this instead. Controversy creates cash is a weird way to describe LLR. The highs for me were always dealing with the constant and never-ending amount of lunatics that came in the door, and their attempts to get back in after being ejected. Combine that with the nutters that are already in this unstable cast, and it was sheer greatness watching and interacting with each other. Yeah, that sums up a lot of the craziness of LLR. It's pretty great sometimes. But the really cool part was, this person actually got to meet some other people from the server, or from the subreddit, Discord, whatever, in real life and hang out. And that, I think, is really special. A subreddit of so few people compared to other subreddits. What, we have 500-600 now, and maybe half of those are active compared to some subreddits and people becoming friends. It's a pretty cool thing, I think. I think if once you're part of the subreddit, you understand how serious the friendships are, and the reason why you keep coming back is because you want to check in with your friends. Before I go any further, I have a basic script that I had to write just so I know to stay on topic, but I want to go off a little bit and just say that there have been a lot of people that have come and gone throughout it. Some people that people probably won't remember, like Gemini and Insane Icon, and oh god, just so many people that I wish I knew where they were doing right now, because you build bonds with people and then they kind of just go away. I mean, there's gonna be a time where all of us don't log on again to LLR. It's just the way it works. So I appreciate everyone that's there right now, even the people that we don't get along, but I appreciate everyone building that community. Okay, I need to get back on topic. I need to touch on some topics of LLR. Some that have really created controversy. Right now, I really debated whether using people's names, even if they're online names, because there are some sensitive topics. You see, LLR is a very diverse community. We have different backgrounds, cultures, religions, ethnicity, ages. It would cause a lot of stress if we didn't have moderators. And the mod team has come and gone with multiple people, from your buddy Church to myself, to throw this to Fake News Barrett. Hey, there's one. The current mods, I think, have lasted longer than everyone. Shout out to Proof and Monk and all you guys for sticking with it and working so hard in this place. I know I'm forgetting some names, but I don't want to focus on the names too much because that's throwing a lot of names out quickly, and I want to focus more on the overall atmosphere of LLR. The mods have had to do with some absolute ridiculous throughout the years. So this is the part of the sensitive stuff comes up in the recording. If you're an outsider, you might not believe some of this. Some of this might seem ridiculous, embarrassing moments, and it might sound like a joke, but it really affected a lot of people in the community. Okay, I'm going to use names because names are important after all. First, I need to own up to my mistakes that I've made. Everyone knows that I've made awkward moments or things I've done that have caused dislikes and have made me not the ideal person in the community. But the community has been able to give back to this place, and like this community has been able to accept people again and like accept change. And I feel like I'm very lucky that the community has let me come back when I was really at a bad spot. You guys could have easily said no, but you came back. I came back and you guys accepted me. Maybe not all at first, but you let me have the chance. So I want to talk about some of the big controversies, and I want you to decide on your own personal choice if that person deserves a spot back. I'm not saying they automatically get to. I'm not saying we get to disagree with the ruling and overturn it. I'm just saying this is your personal opinion on some of the bigger moments. I'll throw my opinion in, but it's just my opinion. There have been others, not a lot, that have really upset the community to the point of being blacklisted. Like, if you're listening to this and you're like, a little community has blacklisted people, yeah, some people have done some things. I'm just gonna stop right there. But my focus here isn't going to be the wrongness of what they've done, but maybe their reasoning behind it. I'm not going to advocate for them or attack them. I'm just trying to understand their thought process. I have reached out to a few of these people. Some have shot me down, so I won't talk about a couple. But some have let me in on their thought process, which I thought was fascinating. Let's see what people have said, because this is not LLR sponsored. This is just me trying to figure it out. So let's talk about the guy who created this place. Your buddy Church. Yeah, the past year and a half, he has been blacklisted. The community creator has been blacklisted, and I understand. I want to say that I have no ill will towards Church anymore. Me and him did, but I respect him now. It's an online game, so it really shouldn't create any hate feelings, but I think time has healed a lot. But Church, if you're listening, I have to talk about some of the things that have happened from the community's aspect point. In real life, if there's a social system, there's a hierarchy, there's been leaderships where it's just one person, they've been overthrown and been replaced by many. And that's kind of what happened in LLR. I mean, something was always going to break or bend. What happened, to my best of knowledge, and I know I'm not getting everything, but just hear me out, was that there was a ruling that Church made that was received negatively by the other mods. I believe that they all agreed on something else and he overthrew them. So that became a vote of no confidence. This was a really huge moment in the community, just because the people that weren't knowledge of what was happening was they were kept in the dark, and they were worried if the Discord was going to shut down, if people were going to quit. As wrestling fans, this is kind of like Vince screwing Brett, or Brett screwing Brett, depending on what you choose. People were about to leave, tired of the drama. People were arguing. It was not the best time. There was a day or so where everyone was really upset. The church was removed from power and replaced by the mod team, which is still going today. It was a group of people over just one person making the final say. If I have to be real about this, it's been over a year and a half, I think, since church left, and people, myself included, and I'm owning this, and I don't feel good about this, have started to use his name as like a joke, or like a running joke, or a slur. And I feel like we need to realize that there are actual people here. Did he make a mistake? Yeah, absolutely. Does he miss this place? I actually reached out to him about that. Before I do that, I do say, as a community, we need to let things go. A year and a half is kind of too long, I think. A lot of things have happened here. It wasn't the worst offending thing, but it's up to you guys to make the call. But let me talk about what church said. I reached out to him, and we talked a bit. He actually wishes he could come back. While some things won't ever be mended, there are definitely broken feelings there, I can tell. Church, again, feels like his absence is very much enjoyed by people, and people used everything he said against him. I'm not advocating for church. I'm not advocating for the mod team. I'm just saying that that is the opinion of one person. Not me, but church. Just want to make that clear. I don't want backlash on me. He does miss predicting against all of us, though. He's actually at the Battle of Los Angeles tournament. Well, he's not going to be in the finals. He wasn't there, but he is predicting every match in his head before it starts, and he says he's 100% on. Do I believe that, church? Probably not. You probably missed a couple, but, you know, if you're doing that in your head still, I think he still has this place where he misses, because before he messed up, he did, in fact, do a lot of important things for us. Do I think he deserves to be back in power? Absolutely not. But do I think he should come back? It's not for me to say, but I just wish sometimes everything could be fixed with like a Thanos snap. But like I said, it's probably not going to be changed soon. I need to take a break about the bad stuff and talk about something good again. I want to focus on a couple of people who deserve to have some time focused on them. Slowbro, JJ, and Vacant for Hall of Fame. While their names are ridiculous without any context, I don't think anybody could write a story or work together better than these two. I mean, they've gone over at it for over like 2 years on and off, and they've captured lightning in a bottle every time. I wish I could write as good as them. Damn. If I were to do episodic recordings of these things, like, I'd probably want those two as like interview as my next episode. Like, they are rock and stone cold. Maybe they're not everyone's cup of tea, but they're like a benchmark to this community for feuds. If you're new or you haven't read their stuff, damn, I wish you should go find it, because, whew. I just wanted to give them a shout out though. But you two want to do the episode thing, let me know. I mean, this might be a one-off, but who knows? If people enjoy it, I'd gladly ask you two some questions and interview. Back to the weird part. Here's a weird topic. What's stopping someone from creating multiple accounts to increase their odds of winning? I mean, managing multiple accounts to get a chance they feel like they deserved, hurting everyone else's odds. Is that possible? Yeah, actually, it's really possible. This happened to the point where a teenager was feeling cast out. Do I think they were? No. Does their opinions and feelings need to be respected? Yeah. There's a rule for multiple accounts. After one person made 2 accounts as a joke, and the rule got enforced, but then this person made 5 accounts, which is absolutely bonkers. And I think he was running all 5 accounts at once, and they're all in a stable together. Talk about some dedication. Okay, As usual in LLR, to write characters off as being an alternative account from your main one, the mod team writes up a story that's kind of funny to destroy the alts who turn to dust. This has been done multiple times. I participated in one, but I was told by this person who had 5 accounts that it was humiliation to them. Do I understand why he might feel like that? Yeah, but do I understand just the storyline for the mods to do this to prevent future cheating and enforce it? Absolutely. In this case, I feel bad for the person, but I respect the ruling of the mods completely. This was an action the community felt very justified that the mod team did. It can call out any fake accounts, cheaters, and it keeps the community honest at least. But I talked to this person, and a lot of interesting accounts or interesting topics came up. I find them interesting, at least. I hope you guys do too. He wrote this long response to one of my questions that I was just like jaw-dropped moment. I'm going to try not to cut much out of it, but it might not pertain to this exact part, but I'm going to try to read it word for word. I just made my problems worse by trying to solve them. If I didn't regret anything, I would have left and not cared about what happened to who. I did my best to try to restore what was left of my public image. I made my own promotion in order to show everyone that I was changing, that I would live with integrity and honesty from now on. Making this other thing only 3 days after being kicked out was a mistake, and the first people came in, and after being a link shared to LLR to harass and being hostile to me. I kind of deserved it for what I did. Eventually, a few people came over and wanted to actually help, and so we started this other prediction game. But recently, we've had some alting drama of our own, and I got to see what it was like from the other side. It made me hate what I did even more, because alting is never fun for anyone. That is absolutely fascinating. I don't know if I'm weird by thinking this is fascinating, but the most known alter in LLR's 3-year history is now dealing with the same damn thing on the other side, and he regrets what he did even more. That's like repentance, shame, and owning up to the actions, all of what you do in one. Like, that's not an easy thing to own up to. Like, holy shit. I want you to make your own choice on whether he should be forgiven or not. Not allowed back in, whatever, but be forgiven. He doesn't want to come back, actually, so... But he respects the integrity of the place and the ruling of the mods. Me personally, I've forgiven him. I did give him shit eventually because I was really wrapped up in the game and I felt cheated. But now it's like, dude, it's a game. Like, you did what you did. You know, you own it. You fucked up. Whatever. Oh man, I need another break from dealing with all the bad shit. Let's talk about the good. This place has actually helped a ton of people in their time of need. Personally, I'm gonna dive into it myself again. I know all about me, right? I was extremely depressed in the first year of LLR. Like, God, I've owned up to it before, but it was awkward. I was in a bad way, and the friends I made here really helped me through the worst of it. Every day they were here for me, just through chat. And that kindness, I don't think has ever left this place. I think that's one of the cornerstones of LLR. A lot of people have been there for each other. They've helped friends pick themselves up, go after that new job that they weren't sure about. They've actually helped build up confidence for someone to go out on a date with someone and call out a girl again. You know who you are. I'm happy for you. A couple people said that was their favorite moment, being able to get someone the confidence to go get that girl. Damn, that was a really cool moment. Anyway, we started relationships here. We've built up confidences, and we've been a net for people who need that love and support they're missing right then. I mean, they might call you an idiot or insult you, but like in a loving way to make you laugh or whatever. But it's pretty cool. Like literally everyone who got back to me, roughly 20 to 30 people, said that what kept them here is the friendships, the creativity, and the happiness. It's a safe place for people, and those are some good qualities to have for a place. I know I've talked a lot about the negative moments, but damn, this place has done a lot of good. Like, in fact, LLR is probably one of the most positive communities I've been a part of. I've missed the friendships and people to the point where I kept coming back every day. I would trust almost every one of you with any secret or problem I was dealing with. You're absolutely good people here. Trust, love, respect, tons of laughter, and any other attribute a friend has, this community has. If you're listening to this before joining LLR, just know as long as you don't attack someone, like personally, you'll probably be welcomed. You know what? Actually, LLR people, we need to be... I asked, a couple people told me that they felt like people were attacking newbies and shitting on the newbies because they're new. And I think we're all better than that. I know I'm guilty of that, doing that at least once. And I've owned up to that and apologized to that person. But let's tone it down a bit. Let's help this community grow. I know another person could affect your ability to win, but let's just let that go. Who am I to ask of this, though? I've made huge mistakes. I'm literally doing this all for no reason, so that... I've done this all for no reason except so our past mistakes won't be forgotten. To grow as a community. As I'm saying these things, I know that I have to talk about the worst moment in LLR history. It's not when Trucker won the world title, by the way, and ruined the whole atmosphere of LLR. It's just like, this is something really personal to me. It's something I joke about now, and I was really upset, but I was really upset in the past. And I need to look at this with an outside perspective and try not to let emotion get involved too much. I recommend, if you've lost someone to cancer or easily angered, this might not be the best moment to continue for you. I recommend you stop right now. I'm going to take a few seconds to let you stop. Alright, I'm still here? Okay, let's go. At the beginning, you remember I named a world champ named the Falcon Arrow. The most winning champ in LLR history, if that means anything. Someone I inducted personally into the first headlining Hall of Fame of LLR. Wow, it's weird to say, but if you ask about him now, people will say that that name is redacted as a joke, but not fully joking. You know, at one point I was thought of to be Falcon. I found out by others later. Absolutely not true, by the way. However, nothing about what this troubled kid did was right. I've gotten rid of most of my anger and my pain about it. So on the off chance that the person known as Falcon Arrow is listening, I think you've realized your mistake by now and need to move on. This is the one case where I can say that I don't think this person deserves to come back. Not out of anger, but out of hurt and the pain they caused the community. I knew Falcon for over 2 years. I had no reason to suspect he didn't say who he thought he was. He said he was a police officer with a wife and 2 kids. However, Falcon had cancer, which returned last year, which then claimed his life after, and then his wife messaged me. Or so I thought. Until when I was told by his wife to let everyone know that Falcon had passed, the others told me not so fast. Something just didn't feel right. Amplified by the wife then jumping on the Discord to argue with us that he was really dead just hours after the death of her husband. Something sounds fishy, right? Seeming fishy yet? Yeah, it's fishy. Facts started coming out that the man known as Falcon jumped back and forth between having 1 kid or twins. Then people had heard his voice on the Discord thinking he sounded a little young, and a member of LLR was friends with him on Xbox Live or something, where the birth year was on his account, something like Falcon 2003 or something, which made him 15 at the time. When I heard, I was livid. A friend of 2 years fake dying on me, finding out he was a kid who lied about everything after we had discussed some very personal moments in my life. I was really heartbroken and angry. I demanded that he tell me the truth, and he did after some time. When he was a kid, he did have cancer, and he beat it. I'm trying to debate on how to talk about this seriously. It's been I paused it for about 5 minutes. This is the hardest topic to talk about because I know a lot of people have lost someone they love to cancer. and it's not something easy to talk about. So it turned out that Falcon was a kid who had gotten over cancer as a kid and then faked it that he had it again. When he got tired of the Falcon account and keeping up with the lie, he wanted to kill off the Falcon character and come back under his real self without anyone knowing. This was disgusting and horrid when it came out, when it was revealed. A lot of members of the community were angered and depressed. A lie of 2 years doesn't feel right. I'll admit, I thought when I first thought he died that I was teared up and I had to sit down and just process for a long time until my friends gave me the real story. I know some of the people of LLR have lost people in their lives due to cancer, and they were infuriated, and rightfully so, about this. And that's the story of how Falcon, who was the most lovable member of the community, has now become truly blacklisted. The one name it's not really allowed to talk about. And it was all from the mind of a kid. I think one day he'll learn about the terrible and realize the terribleness he caused, like the true impact of it. I hope he does and grows, honestly. I don't want there to be any hate anymore. I just think it's one of those moments as a kid where he got in over his head and then really fucked up. It's pretty dark. It's not a happy place to go there, I guess. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry to anybody who got affected by that. I'm glad we've moved on. I just felt like we needed to touch the subject so we don't forget how impactful all of us are to each other in LLR. I think we've formed a little family here. And the idea of losing one of our own is really depressing. Some people have come and gone, and the ones you've become friends with who have left just because they didn't want to anymore. It's a bummer to miss those friendships. And for you to think one of those people actually truly died. It's like you lost a friend. Now I feel like this is where I should stop for this one. There's so much of LLR to dive into. 3 years of history books, a Wikipedia, subreddit, Discord, Skype chat rooms, voice chats, video game Jackbox parties. Maybe there's enough for a series, but right now I feel like I touched on the big, heavy moments of LLR history behind the scenes. I want to emphasize again that despite these terrible moments from the place, history of the place, that's 3 days of 3 years. Each other day you'll find pro wrestling talk. People talking about their days, lives, and memories with their online friends. Hell, if you have an idea for an episode after this, shoot me a message and tell me about it. I don't know how often I'll be able to do this. I'm happy to just record this. I appreciate you listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, be kind about it and let me know. Actually, no, I don't want to know if you didn't enjoy it. Just don't tell me. This is G2J, and until next time, I guess.